Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
On the show this week, we bring you the latest from the world of foldables. Also, how is gaming on Android phones all about to change with something called ray tracing? And us tech geeks on Tech Today have got a little bit of FIFA World Cup fever. We're all going football crazy. All that and a lot more. I'm your host Ayush Alavadi, and this is Tech Today back in the Bay. Well, you might be looking at me saying, look at this tech geek on his 12 whatever inch laptop, and it looks like any other laptop, right? But the minute I'm done with scripting the show for this week, did you say laptop? This is a 17.3 inch tablet. It can become a reader if I want to, and then if I want to watch Tech Today on YouTube on the Business Today channel, I can use it on this handle, on the stand right here, and voila, I have this ready to use. And then if I get a call from the boss and I need to write a script very quickly, well, you put it right here. And if you want to leave the studio and then head to Hawaii for the next Snapdragon Summit or whatever we're doing, then you can do this as well. Now, the real question is, can the Asus Zenbook 17 Fold OLED, that's quite a tongue twister, can this all-in-one foldable, the biggest foldable laptop there is, convince an Indian buyer to shell out the big bucks? That's what we're going to find out on Tech Today. When I said shell out the big bucks, I meant it. Nearly 3.3 lakh rupees for this all-in-one device, which comes in the massive box that we had already unfolded it from. Unfolded or unboxed? Well, either way, this is a device which costs as much as a small car. So the real question should have been, should you buy maybe an Alto or this particular Zenbook Fold? Jokes aside, this is not necessarily a purchase decision for you. What I want this review to serve as is showcase what the tech of tomorrow is going to look like, because if this is the future, then we have it with us in a 17-inch frame. And I mean that because whilst this does, and we showed it to you, look like an ordinary laptop, this is a detachable keyboard which needs to be charged separately through a USB-C. Great, but then now there's several modes in which you can use this laptop, and somehow I'm not quite sure if reviewers around the world have showcased each and every mode. The first one, of course, is the traditional laptop mode. In this mode, this is a 12.5-inch screen. It's a neat little setup with a keyboard. What's the experience like? It's a little wobbly. While they promise this is like other Asus laptops with the keyboard, it's kind of different. It does the job, but it takes some getting used to. Also, the response slightly, maybe 0.5% different from a laptop experience. If you don't want to use, well, this keyboard, then you can always use a virtual keyboard right here. If you have left space on your desk, what you can do is you can continue to use this device in this particular folded mode. So number one was, of course, the laptop mode. Number two is if you fold it this way. Number three is if you go all flat on it and then use it like this. It's kind of heavy, it's kind of bulky, but if you have a 17.3-inch OLED screen, very vivid, very vibrant colors, it'll be a lot of fun to watch content and to watch your favorite show, Tech Today, on this foldable laptop. If you genuinely want to watch it on this table, the back, there is this kickstand right here. Nice, neat little leather, rubberized sort of flap right here. Perfect viewing angle. And like you can see, it's a mini OLED TV right here in front of you. Again, if you want to use this like a PC, connect your mouse, connect this keyboard, it's already connected, and then you can use this like a laptop, a PC. This is another mode. What is the last mode that you can use this in? Which is if you're reading your Kindle, this fold, and the crease is almost invisible. Samsung and the others making foldables, take a leaf out of their book, because such a massive screen and they've still made it possible to use this way. I am absolutely stumped that this particular hinge is almost invisible. The line, the crease is almost invisible. Most importantly, these two hinges on this side make this mechanism possible to fold this glass, this OLED screen, and they promise that you can do this 30,000 times. But that is how this particular laptop can be used in 5 or 7 different modes. It changes the user experience altogether. Testing. Can this also be used as a pair of binoculars? Maybe not. What I was trying to show you was that there is this gap if you don't have the keyboard in between, which is because, of course, this is folding glass. If you put the keyboard in there, and the fact is it's so easy to just snap it on magnetically and you close it, it becomes a lot heavier, nearly 2 kilos. But now that gap is almost minimal, which I think is kind of cool. At the back, it's got this cool design with the logo. It's all kept in this rubberized leather sort of case on the outside, and they claim that this is almost military grade. And I've done it once before, I can't do it again, but I'm going to try doing it anyways, just for the sake of family television viewing. Let me check if it's on red again. You know, this is what we need to check with these particular devices. The keyboard is intact, and so is the screen. What's the display like? This particular display, when you open it up on the Zenbook 17 Fold, like the 17 suggests, comes with a 17.3-inch Fold OLED touchscreen, a 4:3 aspect ratio, a resolution of 2560 by 1920 pixels. But then, when you fold it, and of course, it's not in portrait mode, but you have made it a 12.5-inch laptop, this particular arrangement, a 12.5-inch display with a screen resolution of 1920 into 1280 pixels. It comes with these two Thunderbolt 4 ports, which are located on the top and on the side. Makes it much easier to charge the laptop. And then you can obviously spot the volume buttons on the other side and a 3.5mm audio jack along with the power button. What's strange is that whilst they've made such a beautiful, vivid 17.3-inch screen, which you just want to watch every World Cup match on, take it to bed, take it on the couch, start working with it, pretend to work on it while you're actually watching all sorts of content, especially this show. But I think Asus hasn't really advertised it with stylus or some sort of pen functionality, which is the opposite of what Apple and Microsoft do with their pens, and even Samsung, with particular pens that Samsung makes for their foldable phones, which can be used on these sort of screens. They've not really advertised it, but I think that's because they want this screen to be a lot more durable. I don't think they want you using a stylus on this. The rubberized side of this frame is really a dust and fingerprint magnet. I've been trying to clean it up for this shoot several times, but it's been quite a task, so that's something you must keep in mind. The fact that this independent sheet of glass that they call the foldable, keyboard aside, has all these ports, is not that thick, so to speak, has this sort of cover at the back, and most importantly, has these fans in the corner, which I'm really impressed with, that if this is really going into a high performance sort of mode, you can expect it to cool down. What's under the hood of this foldable laptop? Well, it's powered by Intel's 12th gen range. If we're talking about it, it's the Core i7 having 10 cores and 4.7 GHz max frequency. Zoom calls shouldn't be an issue on this Windows laptop with a 5 megapixel camera here. There's more to the tech right here, because if you're using it as a laptop, it's great. If you use it with the way the issue crops up in an iPad like this, then yes, the sheet of glass will be a little strange because your look will always be a little wonky, but then you have the option of just using it like it should be. That said, it also comes with an IR camera for Windows Hello facial recognition. This camera can record videos in 1080p 30 FPS. And of course, you have all sorts of things like background filtering and movement tracking, which are possible if you're moving around with this particular laptop. But that's become very standard now after Apple came up with Center Stage. And I'm glad that Windows, Android, all of them are playing catch up. At the end of these videos, we always give you a verdict. I think it will be unfair to tell you whether to buy this or not. This is not everyone's cup of tea. What I can tell you is, in terms of technology, if you keep the price tag aside, This is amazing, immersive, futuristic tech with several use cases, and this is only version 1. I'm guessing when the next Zenbook Fold comes, maybe the 2 or 3, this will get a lot better. We'll have more colors, smaller bezels, snappier functionality, and a better graphics card. For now, this is a step in the right direction, a little too expensive for everyone, but yes, of course, if you have the big bucks, this is an absolute crowd puller. What if I told you that ray tracing, the technology, is coming to your flagship Android device? But what is ray tracing? Let me show you Tech Today style. We've set up this shoot in a way where you can see these shadows. If my hand is moving or you want it to be a nice little light show, you can see these shadows in the back. The way light hits an object and then reflects or refracts. I'm not giving you a physics or a science lesson, but this, if was emulated in a video game on a high-end console or a top gaming laptop, then it would add, well, a layer of realism that makes this whole scene a lot more believable. This happens on the PlayStation 5 with a top monitor. It happens with a top gaming laptop or a rig. But what if you could do this in the palm of your hand on a flagship Android device? That's what Qualcomm Snapdragon is trying to do with their new 8 Gen 2. And I caught up with the genius behind this whole ray tracing philosophy coming to your mobile phones, Ziad Asghar, at the Snapdragon Summit. Here's what he had to say. Ziad, fantastic keynote.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks much.
And just to get to the bottom of it, ray tracing is coming on mobile phones. That's the headline for me. As a gamer, someone who plays the PlayStation for so long, we invest in high-end TVs, gaming consoles, and now you're telling me that'll come on an Android device.
Absolutely. You know, it's truly amazing. What you had to basically do on a desktop device until recently, now you can basically take it, put it in the palm of your hand, and we make it work basically based in the same power envelope. So we're super excited about it. And the technology is just awesome, right? You can literally take a light source and it will follow it across, look at realistic reflections, shadows, lighting, everything that you can imagine, and again in the same power envelope. And that's the true smarts of Snapdragon.
Absolutely, Ziad. You know, what I'm trying to understand is how did you make ray tracing possible on mobile devices? And you can be as geeky as possible because the audience will appreciate it.
So in the beginning, I think the key point always is going to be Adreno is a technology that we have developed internally for a very long time. And the key advantage is if you pick up any device and you compare us with it, our performance per watt, as in how much performance we can do for a given amount of battery, is best in class. So with that advantage, as we were looking at introducing ray tracing, of course the big constraint that we have is we cannot hook up a device into the wall. We want a device that's in the palm of your hands and able to do it. So we built a ray tracing engine from the ground up that's actually able to hit that power mark. So it's our ingenuity, our innovation to be able to bring the same experiences that people require, multiple fans and a plug into the wall that we can do just with our device.
But as a tech leader and someone who's been in the industry for so long, I'm sure you understand this. You spoke about it being a building block and enabler, but from your personal view now, do you think the metaverse is really worth such a big bet? All of big tech seems to be investing in the metaverse. You guys are bullish on really enabling the metaverse, but do you think it's a safe bet?
I believe it's a very good bet. I'll explain to you my reasoning for it. I think the world gets to a point where you have a digital twin. And I'd argue that you have multiple digital twins already. In the social networks, There is a presence for you in multiple different networks, I'm sure. It basically could be a metaverse that's very social in nature. It could be a metaverse that's for entertainment. It could be a metaverse that's for medical purposes. So I think the number of different instantiations of metaverse that we can see for many different applications make it a reality one way or another, in my opinion.
Ray tracing in video games, foldable devices, exclusive first look here on Tech Today. We'll always keep you updated from the world of tech. But the second half of the show, I want to give you a spoiler. It's going to be all about the flavor of the season. We're going to be going a little football crazy. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to know what I'm talking about, then I'll see you on the other side of this commercial break.
Rohit, Nothing launched its third product, the Nothing Ear Stick, and just like every other Nothing product, there's a lot of hype around this. People are saying that the Nothing Ear Sticks are not just ordinary earbuds, but a style statement in themselves. But does it mean you need to shell out 8,500 rupees for them? Or are they not really anything great? Don't worry, Tech Today has this sorted for you. From the look of it, the Nothing Ear Stick has the most unique design out there. It comes in a semi-transparent cylindrical charging case which revolves and opens like this. Very unique, isn't it? This design has made charging efficient as well. The Nothing Ear Stick lasts up to 7 hours with a full charge. It also has a quick charge feature, which means if you charge it for 10 minutes, it's going to last up to 2 hours. That's very, very interesting. The only drawback of this shape is that it does not allow wireless charging. The Nothing Ear Stick comes with an open ear design, which means it's comfortable to wear it for longer durations of time, but it does not block ambient noise. Furthermore, the open ear design does not make them the best choice if you plan on working out with them. Calling using the Nothing Ear Stick is a decent experience because
Welcome back to Tech Today. I'm your host Ayush Alavadi. Now we love covering the latest developments. What's that noise? Okay. Now this is strange. There's a drone on the set and it's not that easy to catch. But I'll tell you what. Wait. My point being, drones are here to stay. We have a drone policy here in India, but this drone is within the Tech Today studio here in Mumbai. What if I told you that Amazon is working on Prime Air drone deliveries? 2 states in America will soon, maybe by the end of the year, start drone deliveries officially. In compounds, in housing complexes, in open fields, drones are going to be there and you're going to get all sorts of crazy visuals exclusively first on Tech Today. But we also have an exclusive first, which is the drone which will be used for these deliveries. And of course, we had access to it. Here's a sneak peek. What if I told you that this drone could actually be delivering your parcels the next time you hit order? Well, I'm not telling you that. And I know a little bit about this, but I have more questions than answers. The answers are with Michael from Prime Air. Michael, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to join you on this side and just try to understand this massive drone, potentially in a month from now, will be making perhaps its first delivery here in the US. You got to tell us all about it.
Sure. So by the end of this year, the drone that you see here is going to be performing the first drone delivery, commercial drone deliveries within the U.S. in Lockford, California, and in College Station, Texas. When this service starts, there'll be thousands of items that are eligible for delivery through it, and it'll be the largest selection of items that have been offered through a drone delivery program.
And these items, in terms of a payload, would be under 5 pounds?
Correct, under 5 pounds. And while that may sound small, it represents a very large amount of items that customers buy frequently and really want fast, and more importantly, that they love.
How do you prepare for different geographies with these drones? Because I'm guessing some places are densely populated, some places are snowing here in the US, you have hurricanes coming all along over here. How do you prepare for those sort of unprecedented factors?
Yeah, and to add to the regulatory piece, there's that, and then there's also community acceptance. So what we've done since earlier this year when we made these announcements is we worked very closely with those communities, really trying to understand what is it that they want from a drone delivery program, and what are the things that would just improve their experience as an Amazon shopper or as a Prime customer. So really working from that model is how we got to where we are today with this one.
And so that's interesting, you said community acceptance. I never thought of it that way. When you talk about community acceptance, so how do you guys actually do that on the ground? Do you go down to some of these towns, villages and cities and speak to people, do a dipstick survey? How does it work?
Yeah, so in both those locations, we hold events very frequently.
Okay.
And we allow folks to come in and talk to us and really express the things that they're excited about, answer any questions that they may have, and just making sure that they know we're there to answer the questions that they have, so there's no confusion about the program, and more importantly, so they can get excited about when it actually starts later this year.
But eventually, are we looking at apartment complexes as well? Would be capable of rising to those heights, literally?
I think with any Amazon benefit, any Amazon service that's available, it's always working backwards from the customer. So we start with a solution that we think we can provide to a problem and figure out how to engineer a service, and in this case, a vehicle very specifically to facilitate that.
It's that time of the year again. Strangely, November and December, not technology, but the FIFA World Cup has gotten all of us football crazy. Strange time for the World Cup to be held. It's a summer phenomenon, but this time it's in Qatar. Controversial start to the World Cup, all sorts of flip-flops, but all of that aside, what we want to focus on as tech geeks for the next few weeks is what your viewing experience is like from a tech geek's perspective. Are you watching it on TV? Are you watching it on a streaming app? Has it been a buggy start to the World Cup? That's all I'm going to say. Let's actually get to you, the football and Tech Today community, to find out what your viewing experience and the start of the World Cup was like. And for that, Akanksha Chaturvedi brings you this special report.
32 countries, 64 matches and one ultimate champion. The world is set for the FIFA 2022 World Cup. But wait, where is India watching it? Is India watching it on TV like old times, or has India become tech savvy and is watching the World Cup on streaming sites? Let's find out on Tech Today. The football craze in India is at its peak because of the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Streets are filled with football enthusiasts and matches are being streamed at cafes and at restaurants. The Reliance-backed media group Viacom 18 has the rights to broadcast the FIFA World Cup in India. Matches are being broadcasted on TV on Sports 18 and are also being streamed online via Jio Cinema. Are you watching the FIFA World Cup?
Yes, I am.
Alright, where are you watching it?
On Jio Cinema, both on laptop and on TV.
I'm watching on TV with my friends.
On TV, that's really interesting. Where have you guys been watching the match?
Mobile.
On your mobile, and you?
Mobile.
And you?
Same.
We've been traveling, like, you know, we've been traveling for 2 days. So, yeah.
Do you face issues, buffering issues or some other internet issues, connectivity maybe?
Yeah, on Jio Cinema, yeah, there was one illegal site who was working better than Jio Cinema.
Of course, it's not as refined as the other streaming platforms, but I'm sure they'll improve.
So did you face any buffering issues, internet connectivity?
Yeah, I did face some issues.
We were facing it like very badly.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were like, it was keep on buffering, you know.
Okay.
So it was not that convenient, but it's okay.
I'm interested in football, but not so religiously because the timing sometimes are not suiting my work times. Yeah.
So where do you watch it, on TV or are you streaming it?
Jio Cinema.
Just like they support different teams, it seems like Indian football fans prefer different mediums for watching the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Let us see what arguments they put forth for each medium. So, would you prefer streaming a match or would you watch it on TV?
I would prefer the streaming because it is more portable and I can watch from any comfort zone, I think. Watching it on TV is better.
But why?
I mean, you can actually watch it seamless and the transition won't change. You won't lose an interest.
Because we can watch it from everywhere. Like if we are traveling, we can watch it from everywhere. So yeah.
TV is something that provides you a live match and not a delay and not lag something. So yeah, mostly people prefer TV or cable networks.
I'd say like I'd prefer streaming over TV because obviously it's more handy.
No, I'll prefer TV over streaming because it will not lag or there will be no lags.
Well, it seems like football fans in India are divided. Some prefer watching the FIFA World Cup on TV without any interruptions, while others say that streaming is more convenient and gives them the option to watch it from anywhere. What are your views? Do let us know in the comment section.
It feels good to be back in the Tech Today studio here in Mumbai. But what did you think about our travels? You need to let us know on our social media handles. Also, visit our website and get extensive coverage from our trips to the US or wherever we've been globetrotting and bringing you the latest from the world of tech. Maybe next week we'll be in a new location, but until then, this is your host Ayush Alavadi saying adios.
Presented by धूल आए पर घर पे ना टिक पाए।